Before we dive into today's unbelievable story of justice, make sure you watch this video until the very end, because the legal twist at the 4-minute mark will change the way you look at your property forever. And once you've seen how this homeowner fought back, I want you to head to the comments and share your own stories of neighbor disputes or homeowners association battles. We read every single one. Now, let's talk about the most expensive mistake a millionaire ever made. In the hills of New Jersey, there was a man named Grant who owned a modest home he had spent 20 years perfecting. His pride and joy was a massive 150-year-old white oak tree that sat right on the edge of his property. It provided shade, privacy, and a sense of history. But Grant got a new neighbor, a hedge fund manager named Mark. Mark didn't care about history. He cared about his view of the valley. Mark offered Grant $5,000 to cut the tree down. Grant refused, explaining that the tree was priceless to his family. Mark didn't take no for an answer. He waited until Grant went on a week-long business trip, and then he made a move that would eventually ruin his life. Mark hired a local crew, lied to them about where the property line was, and had the 150-year-old oak ground into sawdust. When Grant returned home, he didn't scream. He didn't even knock on Mark's door. He stood in his backyard, looking at the empty sky where his century-old protector used to be, and he smiled. Why? Because Grant was a civil engineer who understood something Mark didn't: tree law. In the United States, trees are not just plants, they are high-value assets. Grant called a forensic arborist, a specialist who calculates the literal cash value of trees. Because you cannot simply go to a nursery and buy a 150-year-old white oak, the law requires the offender to pay for restoration. This means the cost of transporting a tree of the same size, using heavy cranes, closing down public roads, and hiring a team of engineers to ensure it survives. The appraisal came back at a staggering $180,000. The arborist's report stunned everyone. That single white oak was valued at $180,000. Before penalties, turning a chopped stump into a financial time bomb. As the numbers climbed, Grant prepared the final reveal, the statute that would multiply Mark's bill and flip the case entirely. Mark thought he was clever. When Grant finally served him with the lawsuit, Mark laughed. He told his friends, "I'll just pay the 200 grand, it's worth it for the view." But Mark's high-priced lawyers missed a critical detail in New Jersey's timber trespass statutes. When a tree is cut down intentionally and with malice, the law allows for triple damages. The judge didn't see a neighborly dispute. He saw a wealthy bully who thought he could buy his way out of a crime. The court awarded Grant 3 times the restoration cost. That's $540,000. But we aren't done yet. Grant's legal team then sued for the loss of enjoyment and the permanent decrease in his property value due to the loss of privacy. The final judgment landed like a mountain, $750,000. Mark's hedge fund wasn't doing well, and he didn't have nearly $1 million in liquid cash. To pay the judgment and avoid jail time for contempt of court, Mark was forced to put his own dream home on the market. He had to sell the house with the beautiful view just to pay the man whose tree he stole. Today, Grant has a brand new custom landscape, a massive retirement fund, and a new neighbor who is much, much quieter. This is the power of knowing your rights. If you're from the USA and you've dealt with an entitled neighbor or a corrupt homeowners association, we want to hear from you. Drop your stories in the comments below. Tell us about the Karens, the bullies, and the victories. We want to see the best USA karma stories you have. Don't forget to subscribe to Karmatized for your daily dose of justice. Thanks for watching.